Hey guys, what's going on? Hey guys, hey Sean, hi Icon. Welcome to today's broadcast. Today I'm going to be talking about whether or not I think Bitcoin is dead, whether or not we were in a bubble, and if it's a stable investment going into the future. Today is February 14th, so happy Valentine's Day to you and everybody. Hopefully you had a great night if you had a couple, and if not, let's talk some Bitcoin, and we will I'll answer some of your guys' questions as I go. But let me play this intro. All right. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Sam. Arslan, what's going on? I want to show you guys a couple of things. We're going to talk about if Bitcoin's dead and whether or not I think it's a stable investment or was a bubble. And what I want to show you guys is something called the logarithmic scale, which is a different way of looking at data. Essentially, you can use it to look at a bunch of different things. And I want to show you what I saw and noticed just in the market cap and the price of Bitcoin. And let me pull up your questions on the side here. Long answer short, long answer short is that I do not think Bitcoin is dead. And I want to show you a couple of things that I was looking at. I was looking at the market cap, and it's clear that we were. For the longest time, I held the position that we weren't really in a bubble because this market was so small and there was not a lot of money in it, and it was very speculative. And I could say that's still true for the most part. It is a pretty new market, but I think it's a market at this point which it's fair to say that it's not going away with all the big companies like Facebook, NASDAQ, you name it, are looking into blockchain technology and learning how they can utilize it in their company. And we have an article today. I don't know if anybody saw the first bank creating their own cryptocurrency, but I see some data that I just want to throw out to you guys and show you guys that I've seen. And if we narrow in on this graph here, it certainly looks like we're in a bubble, or we were in a bubble, and it's actually a fantastic time to get involved with crypto and Bitcoin, I think, from a long-term investment standpoint. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is sort of those times when everybody, you can just see the growth, all the people with, you can call them weak hands, you can call them people just jumping in for the price movement, but basically everyone's, for the most part, been shaken out. Everyone that hopped in it just for money is gone, and there's cycles like this in every market. And for cryptocurrency, it seems like they've been every couple of years. They haven't been quite as far or quite as long as they are in the stock market. In the stock market, people seem to think that there's a cycle every 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and you usually get this kind of progression where the stocks and money will go up, and then they come back down, but they settle down at a number that's a little bit higher than where we were before. And, you know, the traditional way to invest is you put money in the beginning of your career, and it grows and it grows and it grows, and over time it might resemble something that looks like, let me just take a blank piece of page. I know we got this here. Let me erase this. Can I just start with a blank canvas? Let me open up Paint and just show you guys. So you would look like over time. here's a pencil. You might look like this, something where it goes up and it crashes, and then up and then it crashes, and then up and then it crashes. And over time, you know, this timeline here might be something in the ballpark of, you know, 30 years in the traditional stock market. And pardon my really terrible slideshow, but my point is here that over time we generally have an increase in your investment and your portfolio. And I want to keep in mind that I think Bitcoin is a stable, I think Bitcoin and blockchain technology are here to stay, and that Bitcoin can sort of resemble, if you keep this in mind, this is sort of just a cycle. And you can see right here, even at our bottom right now, and we're not sure if it's the bottom. I can't say that 36,000 or 30,000 is the complete bottom, but we are still a lot higher than where we were, say, a year and a half ago, where this market was very small. There was not a lot of people engaged in it, and it didn't have a lot of attention. And I think now that there's a lot of money and a lot of resources out there, I think Bitcoin will continue to grow and will continue to have success. I want to show you guys what I see on the log scale, as well as just something that I noticed. I haven't taken a look at it in a while, but if we shrink this graph down to a year, the volume has actually started to pick up as of recently. That is the last couple of months, which is actually something I haven't paid attention to until just the other day when I noticed it. If you guys take a look down here at the bottom, there is these gray bars that are indicators of volume. And you can see back in the summer our volume was 14, 13 billion, 10 billion, 10, 16 billion. But you can see we've been averaging closer to 20 billion. It's a little bit higher than it has been. You can see that increase here. Of course, back in the beginning of the year, there was a lot more momentum when the market cap was higher. But it's interesting, and it's a good indicator to see that the volume has been picking up over the past few months. However, there's a lot of other things I want to talk about, and just looking at your guys' questions. And I'll try to take a look at them afterwards, but I want to take in, I want to show you guys the log scale. And let's take this back to all. And if we look at the log scale, this is what we get. And I want to explain to you sort of what the log scale is. What a log scale is, if you Google it on Wikipedia, it's a scale that is nonlinear that's used to graph or interpret a large range of data, usually data that has outliers and is can be all over the place. I'm sorry, that's a bad way to say it, but data where there's such a large range in the data, logarithmic scales are usually pretty good to use. They're used for a number of applications such as earthquake strengths, sound loudness, light intensity, and they are commonly used when interpreting data. As an engineer and a scientist, we've used them many times to just take a different approach to looking at the data, and I want to show you how that applies here with the Bitcoin market cap. And I thought this page was really good to explain basically what a linear scale is versus a logarithmic scale. So if you take a look here at this scale, in a linear scale we have -6, -5, -4, -3. And you'll notice here on a logarithmic scale, we have 0.001, 0.001, 0.01, 0.1, 1, 10. You can see that every time we move over, it increases by a factor of 10. And the difference between a linear scale is that the change, for example, from 1 to 2 is perceived as the same amount of increase as you would go from 4 to 5. That unit, that distance, is the same amount. However, if we're on a logarithmic scale, it's basically the change between the two values is perceived on the basis of the ratio between those two values. So that means basically a change from 1 to 2 is not the same amount of change as it is from 4 to 5, but will be the same amount of change that you would see from 4 to 8, also a ratio of 1 to 2, or 8 to 16. So the linear scale is a different way to perceive the data. And it's really interesting because as a market grows and changes a lot over time, just think about it. Having Bitcoin at $1 and going to $1,000 is a lot different than going from $1,000 to $20,000. Even though it seems like 1,000 to 20,000 is a huge jump, it's actually not anywhere close to as high as $1 to $1,000 if you're looking at it in that perspective. And it's good to take into consider ratios when we're talking about money, because you are trying to increase the ratio and the percentage of which you started. So I noticed on the log scale, basically what CoinMarketCap does here is it takes this scale and you can look at the total market cap. This is the total market capitalization for all of cryptocurrency in the past several years, dating back to early 13, which takes us pretty far back to a market cap of only just over $1.5 billion. And this is it plotted linearly. But when you take it into log scale, you get a picture that's a lot different. It looks more linear. It's almost an attempt to linearize some nonlinear data in some sense, because this data is very scattered. It's all over the place. You know, down here we're talking about 8 billion. Up here it's, you know, we got close to 800 billion. But on the log scale, we take that and it's a lot. You can see here the scale's adjusted 1, 10, 100. So I wanted to show you what I saw in this, and I see, and I want to take a little snippet of it so I can draw a line. Unfortunately, you can't just draw here on CoinMarketCap, but if I take this picture here, I wanted to point out to you that basically if we were to continue sort of this trend line here that you can see, I know that it's really sloppy, but there's somewhat of a trend there, and you can see this whole area is, you could say that's kind of like a bubble. And you know, talking about the stock market and what I saw and said before, you're going to have this sort of steady increase over time in most markets. Oh, my cursor drags a lot there. Can I delete, edit? You can't undo in this. Let me take a new shot and redraw that line. That's a really bad line too, guys. Sorry. But here is kind of like a bubble from last year. You can see that the data, the line moves well above that area. And when we're talking about, where is Bitcoin dead or is it a stable investment? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but it has seemed to be a pretty, we could say it's a volatile investment, but I think it's going to continue to be a stable investment, and it's probably a great time to get in. If I flash back to the linear scale for just a moment, Bitcoin is, you know, if you thought highly of it at 10,000, 20,000, 15,000, 5,000, it is, you can see that we are basically cleaning house. We're getting rid of everyone that isn't here to make a quick dollar anymore. And I am definitely someone who is a long-term investor and likes to have things in, have investments in different classes or different categories or types, and B, someone for the long term, someone that can plan for retirement. I'm still fairly young. I want to not necessarily looking to day trade as much. So when I look at Bitcoin in the long term, and I think anybody watching this, and I think that there's probably not a lot of people watching this that are looking to get into Bitcoin at the moment, just because there isn't a lot of price action. And this is something that I said on the stream or on camera many times before. It's a quote from Warren Buffett, I believe. be fearful when others are greedy, and basically be greedy when others are fearful. And now is exactly that time, is when other people are starting to fear. They're worried if Bitcoin's going to 3,000, if it's going to 2,500, and yes, that can be a major loss on paper when you look at it initially, but I want to sort of remind you to not look at it today on a scale, on a very linear scale, looking at it, you know, today and tomorrow and the next day, but to keep in mind all the years ahead of it. And, you know, we can date this back to just a couple of years ago and see how many times over the market cap as a whole has increased. Basically, we are at 12.5 billion on October 11th, 2016, and even in the tremendously down low market right now, that's still about 12 times as high as where we currently are. And we could afford to drop 20, 30, 40 more billion and still be much higher in only about a year and a half a year and a half's worth of time. And looking at this again logarithmically, I liked that. I wanted to share this line here basically with you. I wanted to show you that there seems to be a little bit of a trend, and we seem to be butting up against basically this this trend that we've seen. And you can see the big bubble that kind of happened last year. And again, if you're someone that's interested and doesn't have a huge position in Bitcoin, I think it's a good time to get in, and I don't think it's something that you should overinvest in. I don't think it's something that you should invest in all at one price. We also recommend laddering in, because we don't know where the best price is to get in, and laddering in is essentially averaging in your position so that over a long period of time you've averaged in at a certain amount, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket and investing all of your money today. For example, say you wanted to invest $1,000 and you did it today. I would recommend doing that in increments of, say, 250, 250, 250, 250 at 4 different amounts. But I thought the logarithmic scale is really interesting. It's a tool that, it's just a scale that you can use to look at data, any kind of data, in a different way. And CoinMarketCap has it here for you, and it's something that I always flip back and forth and keep an eye on. And it's been a little bit since I've seen it or looked at it, but it's nice to see that we're sort of on track for that linear growth, that more sustained, gradual, organic growth that I think is a little healthier for your pockets. I'm going to take a look at some of your guys' questions and see what's going on. I'm so happy to stop seeing When Moon When Lambo. Yeah, I mean, this is a time when not a lot of people are interested in cryptocurrency, and not a lot of people maybe even watching the stream or paying attention or care. But I think it's these times when you look back and you go, it's really cool. I had somebody to talk to about cryptocurrency and had somebody to, you know, help me understand it. And that's what I did with a lot of my friends early on, and kind of shared that with them when I saw the potential of blockchain technology. And now is going to be, perhaps for you, one of those times where you look back later on when I think when the markets will pick back up. I think it's just a matter of when, not if. I also wanted to share with you guys tonight, we had Amal, our lead technical analysis, just finish a course for beginners, and you can find it in a lot of places, starting with our website. If you head over to our website and go to the products page, you will see the technical analysis course, which has been long asked for, and you get it now for just $10. It is a series of lectures where you can preview them, you can get your money back if you're not happy, but basically what Amal shows you in that course is, let me actually go to the course, Technical Analysis Crypto. and show you guys the course. Where in the world is it? Give me one moment. Let me log out of my Udemy account and go back to Cryptosomniac. I want to show you guys what is all in it. So, in the course, you'll learn a number of things. You'll learn how to basically learn how to set up and familiarize yourself with TradingView if you're not familiar with it already. The course is designed for basically anyone looking to advance their skills in TA. You could be a beginner or intermediate trader. You will learn what some of the best indicators to use are while trading cryptocurrency. You'll learn how to use technical indicators and chart patterns to trade cryptos. You'll learn how to apply these indicators when making trades. And some of them include, just understanding Japanese candlesticks, moving averages, the Fibonacci indicator, identifying support and resistance levels. And one of the coolest things I think Amal did was basically create downloadable PDFs of some of the content in the slides that he put together. It's a great course. It covers a lot of the indicators that we use here to trade, and he breaks it down in, I think, very, very clear and concise modules for you to understand. And right now we're working on creating a deeper, basically second level course for people that really want to get interested. But I think this is a fantastic overview of how to get started. And again, you can get it by going to our website. It should be in the description of this video. It's something that we have been asked for a long time to put together from students that are in the Moon Lounge. You can actually get this for free. So that's the Cryptosomniac advantage. If you want, this is available for you for free, put together by, again, Amal, our lead technical analyst. Now, I want to take a look at some of your guys' questions. Let's take a look at some of the more recent ones. Sean Nevins, I have ice for veins. I'm fine waiting for the market, what this market will become. I'm just happy to get in early. We definitely think you're in good position. What's going on, Elizabeth? Longtime subscriber. It's hard to talk to people about the space that are not in it. I'm a study junkie. Yeah, it is difficult. And we advocate, if anyone wants to be a part of our Moon Lounge, just join it. Join our Discord server. You can join it for free and talk amongst each other in the community. You can find that link, again, in the description of this video. What do I see for the future of alts? Obviously, most will die and new ones will come. That's a good question. It's a big question. I think that altcoins, a lot of altcoins will die, and I think we've seen a lot of them become fall into the wayside. Many that we thought were very interesting at first, and we're learning to see as the market comes back and recovers. It's really interesting to see which cryptocurrencies are still there after the storm, basically. I think a lot of ICOs and cryptocurrency and altcoins, etc., will be developed through what is called the STO going forward, the security token offering. And I think there's a lot of advantages and benefits to that. I think that what I'm looking for are unique use cases in cryptocurrencies going forward. I think Bitcoin serves as a great store of value, and it's still the leading cryptocurrency out there. There is a lot of basically forks and replications of it. I like to see things like Ethereum, Tron, Cardano, Monero, these things that have very different use cases than what Bitcoin is designed for, because I really think Bitcoin is the best at what it's doing. So I look for different use cases, and I think a lot of altcoins will essentially die. I think if you're looking to get into cryptocurrency, it's obviously depends on your risk tolerance as to how much you want to invest into altcoins, whether that be 10, 20, 50% of your profile or portfolio. That really varies on your risk tolerance. And for me, I would say Bitcoin is would be more along the lines of 60-70%, and Ethereum pretty high up there as well, before we even start talking about some of the altcoins. This again is not investment advice. In fact, let me play the disclaimer for you guys just so we know that we've had it. Again, this is not financial advice. Definitely make sure you consult with your own financial advisors. We are just here to have discussions and chats. So we got that out of the way. Let me take a look at some of your other questions. Your thoughts on Icon, Cardano, and Neo. Cardano, next week, I'm actually going to be having a follow-up interview with Charles Hoskinson, who is the CEO of IOHK, who is Input Output, the company that engineers Cardano. So stay tuned for that next week. I think Cardano is a very interesting platform. Doesn't have a lot built yet, but I like Charles. Icon I'm not a big fan of. And Neo, I think, hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but it's still up there as one of the bigger platforms to build off of, and I think still has potential. See a couple people citing XLM. XLM is actually a great platform to build off of, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know nearly as much as probably Snay and Jason, but I know that they are huge fans of Stellar, and I definitely, sometimes you can't do research on everything yourselves, but I know Snay is pretty familiar with the Stellar platform, and I think it's actually sort of on his recommendation alone, I know it's a pretty good coin. What other questions are there? I was swing trading during 2018. Yeah, so there was a lot more room to trade in 2018 and swing trade. I think you'll have that opportunity. There's honestly that opportunity still today. I mean, you can catch anything in a down market. In fact, some of our TAs in the Discord group are fantastic. And if there's not any other questions, I'm just going to show you, again, our website, and you can join the Discord channel by basically going to the link that you see above. Is it on my screen? No, it is not. Let me put that up. So you can join our free Discord server by clicking that link at the top. You can also get it in the description of this video. And you can check out the Cryptosomniac Advantage. You can get it for free for 14 days and check it out and see if you like it. Future of Ethereum when we have Tron and EOS. Well, I have to say one thing. I've seen Dan Larimer skimp on many projects in the past, and there hasn't been as much hype around EOS as there was initially. So I definitely don't have my sights set high for EOS at the moment. What else? Tron is very good. I mean, whatever you want to say about Justin Sun and him shilling different, you could call it shilling, basically companies and partnerships, but he's done a great job at producing and partnering and staying relevant, and that's something that you need as a leader in the space. So I think Tron has definitely got that going for them. I think Ethereum has still a pivotal future. It's still the second biggest cryptocurrency, and it is probably the easiest platform to build off of out there at the moment, essentially. And it's got the most backing, and it's got the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. It's got lot of devs working on it. So all different types of things going for Ethereum, in my opinion. I still think Ethereum is here to stay. It's be my second best choice after Bitcoin. If I were to invest money in. Funding Jim, when are you back in Puerto Rico? What's going on? So I don't know if anyone knew. I'm sure Jason and stuff said we decided to not pursue moving to Puerto Rico. Not sure when I'll be back. Great town, great island, essentially great people, a lot of fun, but won't be returning in the immediate future. Not sure when. Let me see if there are any questions on Facebook. Sometimes we miss some of the questions on Facebook. I want to make sure that we see any questions that may have came in. And if you have any on YouTube, I will try to answer them before we go. But let me check it out. JP Morgan, Sanka. How do I look at all the comments? That's weird. It says 6 comments, but I only see 3. All cryptocurrencies come to an end. So I don't see a lot of questions here on Facebook. Let me check one last time on YouTube. Did I pay attention to the interviews Richard Hart was doing? No, I did not. I have not. Thoughts on ontology? Plasma seems to be far as well. That's a good question. Omise Go. Omise Go has fallen to the wayside, and I think honestly is not a project that is probably not possible until we have things like Plasma implemented. And I know Ethereum postponed their upgrade a little bit, and we are still waiting to see. I think honestly that's a lot of the technology at the moment. It's kind of like wait and see if it gets developed, and that's kind of the stage we're in. We saw a lot of money come in last year. And even in 2017, and a lot of people ran away with it, and some people are developing really cool stuff, and I think that it's going to take time. And one date that I look forward to, that I think Bitcoin will certainly turn around before, is going to be the next halvening in 2020, and I think that will largely affect some of the altcoins. It's still apparent to me that most of the altcoins are tied to what Bitcoin's price is. It's still the major on-ramp and way to get in to cryptocurrency, even if there are other routes now. There's a lot more exchanges and a lot more opportunities to go from fiat to said cryptocurrency. But Bitcoin, I think, is still going to be your best bet going forward. But I do like Omise Go as a project. There are other companies now that are competing with it, and what I'd really like to see is things like a mainnet, things get pushed and developed. I think it's very competitive. I like to see things that have usable, workable products at the moment, since most projects don't. I like to see credible teams that actually have done something, basically. It just comes down to what have you done for me lately, essentially. What have you produced? And a lot of these companies, cryptocurrencies, haven't really produced much, if anything. What date is the halvening? So the date of the halvening is Bitcoin halvening. It's like spring of 2020. Here's a countdown for it. It's basically it's at a certain block. Does it tell me what block it is here? I don't know what block it is, but this is an estimated timer, 464 days. So reward drop ETA date is the 24th of May. So that puts us in spring. And if you look back at the last halvening, that's when Bitcoin really shot up. And let me show you that chart. The last halvening was in 2016. It happens approximately every 4 years. But it was right around this time here. It was sorry, hold on, let me back out. It was, I believe, in June of 2016. And July, June, I gotta go back further. You know what? I have to look up when it was officially Bitcoin halving, so I don't screw you guys up. Let's take a look on Wikipedia. Bitcoin Wiki. History of Bitcoin. There's a chart somewhere that's very easy to read. 2012, 2017. Oh, where's the Bitcoin halving dates? Bitcoin halving dates. Bitcoin halving schedule. Huh. It was somewhere around 2000, in this late spring, early summer of 2016. I don't know where the chart is that I want to show it to, or where the exact date is, so I can show it to you. But it's too hard to see it on this scale of this size. You have to look at basically 2016. So it was somewhere right in here. I think this is where it is right here. You can see the movement right up here. It was somewhere in here, and this is the price movement before the halving. You can see people almost preparing to buy for that halving. Bitcoin was at like $400 and spiked all the way up towards 800, almost double what it was in just like 2 months' time. And then, of course, it went on for a very long stretch after that. It seemed like really since the halving, it never slowed down until late 2017. Let me see if there's any other questions. No, the Bitcoin halving date does not change due to popularity. It's basically the Bitcoin, each block is created roughly every 10 minutes. And sometimes it's 8 minutes, sometimes it's 11 minutes. It's all dependent on the difficulty, and the difficulty is able to self-adjust. And it's basically, Bitcoin's is a really cool, interesting design. Basically, it was designed such that the difficulty is increased kind of automatically, so that Bitcoins are created every 10 minutes, so that we have a very, very close approximation of how many Bitcoins are in circulation practically at any given time, and can project that into the future. So basically, Bitcoins are mined, and we get, right now, the miners receive 12.5 Bitcoin for each block that they mine, and basically, that's gonna that amount that they receive is gonna half into what is it, 6.25 once we reach block number, I don't know what block it is. I really wish that I could pull this up. Bitcoin half date. Controlled supply. Here we go. This is exactly what I wanted to show you guys. Is the last one was on right here. It was on July. It was July 29th. Sorry, no. It was July 9th of 2016. You can see we went from 25 to 12.5 Bitcoins, and then on block 630,000, we're going to reduce that to 6.25. And again, the way I explained it, it's not due to time, since a block is mined approximately every 10 minutes, and the difficulty is adjusted to make sure that that happens roughly every 10 minutes. Snake doesn't like Ripple that much. Sam, your thoughts on Ripple? I think it is a decent investment, just based on the merit that banks are looking into it. And I think a lot of banks are going to be looking into ways to utilize blockchain technology. I think Ripple's just kind of like something that you want to hold on to just in case. In my opinion, it's not my favorite. It's cryptocurrency. I don't think it's, of course, we know it's not that decentralized. I like Stellar a lot better, in my opinion, than Ripple, but it's something that I'll continue to hold on to. Joy Rocket, what's going on, man? How you doing? How are you enjoying Puerto Rico? Sean, it's designed to reduce the flow of Bitcoin to a specific date where the last coins will be mined. I can't quite remember the date right now, but it will be quite a while. Yeah. It's going to be some time. It's going to be again, sometime in the spring of 2020. And I do project that by that time, you will start to see Bitcoin go up. And it may not be till closer till the end of the year, basically, is something that I may see. What's up? Joey Rocket and Funding Jim are both two people that we met, and actually you guys probably saw them on our stream a long time ago when we were in Puerto Rico, that both made the jump to Puerto Rico. How is it? If there's not any other questions, I'm going to end it again. You can go to our website. We just came out with a brand new course, Amal. You can check out the video. In fact, I forgot. I wanted to play you guys a video, an introduction video, to show you guys what it basically is all about. So let me play the video for you. And I will leave the stream at that. So check out this video, and it will show you what you can get and expect from them all in the Trading Basics cryptocurrency course. And I'm going to mute myself.
Hey, welcome everybody to Trading Basics, the crypto edition. My name is Amal, and I've actually been trading and investing in the equity markets for close to 11 years now. And now I'm actually here to show you some technical analysis that we use in those markets that I've found applicable to the crypto markets. By the end of this course, you will know how to read a chart, analyze price movement, and even understand how to trade this market. We'll be discussing some of the core components of trading, such as Japanese candlesticks, raw price action, horizontals, and patterns. I designed this course because I often feel like too many novice or even some semi-experienced traders are making some of the more basic mistakes. Hopefully this course steers you the right way into making those proper decisions in trading the crypto markets. Thank you for watching this video, and feel free to take a look through the course description and to see if you're ready to take on the challenge of becoming a crypto trader. All right, cheers.
So that was a preview, or what you can expect out of the course. Again, that was made by Amal, our lead TA in the Moon Lounge and the Advantage. Check that out, guys. It is got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so we hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope you enjoyed seeing me. Hope you enjoyed the recent bump in Bitcoin's price, and just continue to keep hanging on. I think that Bitcoin is not dead, and it is a stable investment going forward. Again, not your financial advisor. Thanks for watching, guys. Sam here at CryptoSomniac. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you soon.